For more inspiring content, subscribe to JKYog and press the bell icon to never miss a latest video.
Satyajnanandanandamatraikarasamurtayah. The Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 13th chapter, 54th verse states, Satchidananda Vigraha. God's form is made of bliss. Now, can you imagine a form made of bliss? As far as we know, bliss is a perception. How can somebody's form be made of bliss? But the scriptures are telling us again and again, Anandamatra Karapad Mukhodaradi, Padma Puran. Karapad Mukhodaradi Anandamatra. All made of bliss. This bliss of God is such. If at present we were to experience it, we sometimes say, Guruji, can you please show God to me? Now, we have to first prepare ourselves. Without preparation, if Guruji was to show us God, you know what would happen? We would be unable to tolerate the intensity of that divine experience. Our whole body, mind, senses, intellect would completely disintegrate. It's like, we have those electric trains in India. So one railway officer was telling me, Swamiji, one of the employees was walking on top of the train, the standing train, and it was raining. He had an umbrella, he was holding it, the umbrella went too close. Now that has got such heavy voltage, he just got pulled and we don't know where he disappeared. The same would happen if that intense divine voltage of God's bliss was given to us right now. If somebody is told, you have won the first prize in such and such lottery, the American Lotto, $600 million. 600! He has a heart attack there. There was once a person who was in dire need of money. He had a lot of family issues, daughter to get married, son to get settled, mortgage to be paid, etc. So all these worries, they came down upon him so much, his heart became weak just thinking of it. He became a heart patient. So one day he purchased a ticket, lottery ticket. Now he had gone to the office and his wife came to know that my husband has got this $100 million prize in the lottery. The wife said, this is most amazing. All our miseries are finished in one stroke. But I have one fear. This should not cause a heart stroke to my husband. So she went to his heart specialist doctor and said, I have this problem. It's actually a very good problem to have, but I need your help. How to break this news to my husband? The doctor said, don't worry. I'll come home and break the news to him. So in the evening, her husband returned and the doctor also came. So he said, Manlo, supposing you were to get $1 million in the lottery as a prize, what would you do? So the husband was pleased at the thought. Then I will first of all clear off my mortgage and I'll get my son admitted in that college. Said, supposing you were to get $5 million prize, what would you do? Then I would get a real big house in this place. And so supposing you were to get $20 million, what would you do? So he went on increasing. So finally he said, if you were to get 100 million, what would you do? He said, why, doctor, are you talking of impossible things. It's not in my fate to get $100 million, but if I do, I'll give half to you. The doctor heard I'll get half of it, he had a heart attack. So the moral of the story is that our hearts, the etheric heart, man, buddhi, mind and intellect, has a finite capacity to tolerate pleasure and pain. The all-knowing, and he did it so intelligently that it is the basis of devotion for all of us. So, to apply with our material intellect, why this, why not this? This is going beyond our capacity. We cannot even understand material things, like I said. So where is the question of understanding the divine pastimes of God? Any discussion in this direction needs to be stamped out right away. There is a tendency sometimes. The listener, he says, Panditji, why did Ram hide and kill Bali? Why did Ram do such a dirty act? This person who's asking the question has zero knowledge out of 100. Because where is it written that Ram hid and killed Bali? Where is it written? Swamiji, it's written in the Ramayana. So you accept the Ramayana as your authority? Yes, I do. So if you are accepting the Ramayana is also saying that Ram is God. Now you accept that as well. And if you are accepting Ram as God, he can't make a mistake. So you can say, I am unable to understand with my finite capacity what was the rationale behind this leela, but don't say, why did God make a mistake? So, all these doubts that we have, we need to stamp them out. But people give them further lift. Panditji will say, come, let me tell you. What Tulsidas never explained, Valmiki never explained, I will explain. Don't take this Ramayana literally, just metaphorically. You know that Ayodhya is your own body. Sita is not a goddess, Sita is just a symbol of devotion. And Hanuman is a symbol of faith. And Saryu is a nerve in your body, that's it. So the listener says, oh, I am so fascinated. Such a wonderful explanation of the Ramayana I heard today. Really? So you have understood the Ramayana? Yes, I did. Panditji has explained to you? Yes, he did. But tell me, you are still under Maya? That I am. Then where have you understood Ram Rahasya? You know what it means to understand Ram? Janat tumahi tumhahi hoya jai. The day we will understand, we will become God-like. Brahmavit brahmaiva bhavati. And we are yet under the bondage of Maya. It's a proof that we have not understood Ram. The same Ramayana is telling us. Garudaji applied his intellect. How can the all-powerful Lord be tied by the snake arrows? This cannot be God. Poor Garudaji had a downfall. Sati, Mother Parvati herself, she applied her intellect and she had to suffer so much of tribulations. This was the consequence great personalities had to face, and we are expressing this bravery of taking our intellect to the leelas of God. The first thing to be understood is, don't apply your intellect there. Apply your mind. The intellect is to be applied to the world. In other words, use your intellect to develop detachment. The world doesn't have the happiness that I want. Use your intellect there. And take your mind to God. Attach your mind in the names of Ram, in the form of Ram, in the virtues of Ram, in the pastimes of Ram. When you attach your mind in the divine, your mind will get purified. When you apply your intellect to the world, you will become detached. This is the proper utilization. But because of lack of guidance, we do the reverse. We apply the mind to the world. We absorb the mind in the world. And we apply the intellect to God. Why 3 lines? Why 14 years? Why stealing butter? Now see, the mind and intellect are being utilized, but in the wrong direction. It's like that patient went to the Ayurvedic doctor and he said, Mr. Doctor, I've got a terrible pain in my stomach and I've also got unbearable irritation in my eye. Do you have anything in your Ayurvedic medicine to cure these? So the Vaidyaraj, Kaviraj said, of course, we've got wonderful medicines. I'm giving you this churn powder at night before sleeping. Take 1 tablespoon, take a little water and eat it. And I'm giving you also this ointment malham. So before sleeping, apply it to your eye and go to sleep. Now he went with the proper medicines, but he forgot their usage. So he took the churn and put it in his eye. The eye got swollen like a tomato. And the malham ointment, he took it and drank water on top of it. So the gas forced his stomach to become like a pumpkin. Now he went to the doctor the next day and he said, my situation has become terribly grave. The doctor said, it's worked on hundreds of people. How come? This has been the consequence for you. And when he delved deeper into it, he found out that the proper medicines had been improperly taken. Similarly, God has given us the intellect and the mind. And he says, use these for your welfare. Apply the intellect to the world. Apply the mind to God. That is the way to reach that goal. So, the leelas of God are also divine. And if you say, no, Swamiji, still my intellect is always troubling me, just give me something to satisfy my intellect. One reason, understand this. Everything we do has one motivation. Everything we do. The fulfillment of our self-interest. Because we are not yet complete. We are not yet satisfied. We have not yet attained the divine bliss. So because we have not reached the goal, everything we are doing is for our own bliss. And on the other hand, God has no self-interest because He is perfect and complete in His self. He is the ocean of bliss Himself. He is Atma Ram, rejoicing in the self. Poon Kam, Param Nishkam, Nirgranth. He doesn't need anything from anybody. So such a personality, whatever he does, will not be for his interest. It will be for the welfare of all living beings. So he is acting from this platform for all living beings. We are acting from our platform. We've got a certain dharma applicable to us. Don't tell lies, don't do this. That dharma does not apply to God. Because even if he tells lies or steals butter, it is for our welfare. The Kathopanishad says, Anyatra dharma danyatra asmat krita kritat anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha yattat pashyasi tadvada. God is beyond our material dharma. Don't say, Sri Krishna tells us to tell the truth and he told Yudhishthira to tell a lie. Why does Sri Krishna not follow dharma? He is not obliged to, because his rules are different. You can't apply American rules in India or Indian rules in America. We can't apply the dharma of Mayadhin to the Mayatit. We should just understand the principle. And the principle is that his leelas are divine. His form is divine. His birth is divine. Keep these divine sentiments and then engage in devotion, and you will reach the final goal.